Hi guys, I thought I'd do a quick rumble through the lists that have been submitted for Muster the Brohhirm this Saturday at Tabletop Republic in High Wycombe. Um, just a quick point of housekeeping is I think I'm going to find out all the stuff about sort of best places to park and routes in and distances to bus stations or whatever, and hopefully sort of post something next couple of days so that everyone can sort of figure out where they're going. I don't know if you're like me and a few days ahead have to figure out precisely where I'll be on Google Maps, or if you're normal, I don't know, maybe you don't do that. Um, so again, just a quick point. This is 700 points, which means we're down to 3 games. Because of the number of players, it means because we're on 32 players, one of these is the ringer. And the ringer will basically drop if nobody else drops, or if other people drop, the ringer might stay in. So it's 32 players. This means that victory points are going to be more important than normal. I'm bad at maths, so I don't know how many players can finish with 3 wins, but I think is it 3 or 4? I can't remember. So it means that it's not necessarily if you win all your games, you'll finish first or possibly second. It's going to be if you win all your games and you do well on the victory points, you can stand a good chance. So I'm viewing them like this at the moment, just because I haven't made them public yet. So I'm gonna push this video out and then make them public a little bit after, so that it forces you all to watch my content. Anyway, here we go. So Aaron has Rise of the Necromancer. So he's got the Necromancer, Witch King, Camul, Abyssal Knight, Slayer of Men. I'm not hot on what they do individually. I know Camul's two-handed because it's always hilarious when he messes it up. Witch King obviously got 3 points of might. And I think is the Abyssal Knight the one that sort of darts around a bit, and Slayer of Men is extra killy, so it's all pretty good. And obviously the Necromancer is very good. I think he's got 25 will, hasn't he? Potential to cast 2 spells a turn, I believe. And the Nazgul respawn on a 2+ in Legendary Legion, so that's pretty grim. So this is one of those where it can sort of win anything, just like most things can, I suppose. But it'll obviously do better in particular scenarios. So it won't do well. It will struggle at Maelstrom, and it will struggle, needing to hold multiple objectives across the board. Objective-based games is what I'm trying to say. And obviously, if you can kill the Necromancer, the whole thing sort of comes a bit unstuck. So it's a good list, but may struggle depending on what scenarios are brought. We have Pits of Dol Guldur, pretty classic, just Azog, Felwarg, Hawk Warriors, and then a couple of Hunter Orc captains. I was a bit surprised when I first saw this to see so many Gundabad Orcs in one warband, because I thought it might make a bit more sense to spread the spears out. And also the bows are kind of concentrated in one warband too, but that's probably just down to preference, obviously. There's a few more wargs than I would normally expect to see as well, because they've got five wargs here in one warband, but it's pretty kind of, that's kind of what you expect to see. So that's that's pretty much nothing too unexpected there. I thought this one was quite fun actually. It's just Erebor reclaimed with a bunch of dwarves and then Legolas. So Chris obviously likes a bit of theme. And again, I think it could do well. You'd sort of expect it to win at least one game, because the unique missions it could do well at, and the sort of killy missions it could do well at. Yeah, we got Bert with Riders of Theoden. I think this is the one where yeah, I wasn't. It's kind of almost how I'd run it, I think, but I don't know if you need the captain. I kind of get he brings a march, and it's another cheap hero for obviously when you get death off. But I think I'd personally put in a few more Royal Guard, but you know, there's lots of ways to run Riders of Theoden. So, but yeah, I mean, pretty classic. You got Theoden, Eomer, Durnhelm, Daelwyn, Gamling, and Gamling's got the banner. So, boom, that's pretty. Those 5 heroes at this point's level, that's pretty much what you get. And then yeah, captain's optional. You can either have more warriors or have a captain, you know, whatever. You could trade him out for Elfhelm if you wanted to downgrade Royal Guard, probably all the Royal Guard to be fair to riders, but yeah, that's that. Obviously, riders they had them very good. Is this Theodred's Guard? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so I don't think I naturally see the ceiling of this as being 600 points. I don't know why, but that's kind of my instinct. But it can still be very good at 700 points, I guess. And you've kind of got all the tools here. A bunch of Helm. Well, you basically got a pretty killer shield wall with Helmigers and Royal Guard. You've got a sprinkling of Outriders too, and obviously you've got Theodred, who's an absolute unit in this one. And I think everyone's got Swarm Protector Theodred as well, so that's good. And you've got a lot of throwing spears for shooting. Elfhelm's pretty spicy with the throwing spear and rerolling a bunch of stuff. Grimbold's a bit meh, but his Mighty Blow special rule is pretty spicy. So again, that could do well. Is this Mr. Garside? Yes, with the not too much to say about this one. It's Witch King Suladan. That's I think the distinction with this list is it's got the mouth of Sauron rather than I don't really know what you'd expect to see. Maybe, I mean, Shagrat's pretty handy instead of the mouth, but you know, you got another caster and the mouth's sort of not really any slouch, so you know that's pretty good. I think that's pretty much the Mordor Serpent Horde meta, so it's not too doesn't stand out too much. I thought this one was cool because this is kind of like I feel like it's a bit old school now, but that makes me feel old when I say that. But like earlier in edition, you'd get a lot more betrayer. Sorry, a lot more of the betrayer with lots of bows. So I think this one's cool, maxing out the bows, getting the betrayer, and obviously you've got the Abrakan Guard Serpent Guard Shield Wall. That's not shield wall because nobody has shields because they're all squishy. But I mean, you got the strength 4 Guard of Abrakan and Serpent. I mean, it's good. It's good. Raza, I don't rate him a huge amount, but he's fun. So plus, I don't really know who else you'd get a Serpent Horde. I guess just a chief or a king, but that's a bit lame. What's this one? Thrall, Army of Thrall with Dale. So I like the theme to this one. So this is basically when Smaug comes and ruins everyone's good time, and obviously you've got Thrall with Grimhammer's Thrain. I'm surprised to not see a few more spears, but I guess that's just how it worked out. And these guys have spears, so I guess that's you know that's all right. There's a lot of spears in this warband, so. You've got the Esgaroth bows as well, so you've got a bit of shooting and a formidable shield wall. Actually, Girion with bow, obviously he's no slouch, is he? Because he's got the is it rapid fire where he can potentially shoot up to 3 times. Thrall's a bit meh, but he's quite survivable as long as he's not put in a silly place. And then Thrain's just a unit, so yeah, mobility will be an issue. I'm not sure if there's a march in there, but again, can do well in the right circumstances, I would say. This is just going to be grim, and 100% will be going to time. Yeah, I have no idea. I can't decide if it's going to be fun or horrific, but I'll let you decide. I mean, part of me just thinks it's kind of a funny meme list, but then the other part of me thinks like, well, actually, if you're rolling 96 dice, you know, and 30 bows, I'm not sure. Not sure if it's grim or fun, but we'll see. We'll see. This is Mr. Cameron Bell. I assume this isn't the Legendary Legion, but I will check with him actually. But it's basically just Theoden heavy armor, a bunch of Rohan warriors on foot, bringing mostly throwing spears, but a couple of other things in there, and then just a whole load of Woe's warriors because he painted them for 7 stones and he will use them. In fairness, it could do well because of the high model count and the number of blowpipes. Totally depends what it comes up against and what the scenario is, but should win one, maybe 2 games. You'd have thought. If he wins one, that's decent. This is my ringer list. Basically, my philosophy as ringer is not to bring an army that is just going to get slapped by everyone, because it kind of skews the results. It's almost like giving someone a buy, I think, if you're just like, look, I brought this stupid list you can slap. And yeah, I think something that's a low model count that's good, but isn't like ridiculously good, because I think Beornings will struggle in certain scenarios, and at 700 points there'll be stuff that can deal with it. So I thought, why don't I just bring the Bears, so I can give someone a decent game at least. I've played this list of Henrys before. It's Goblin Town, so they lose their bonus of being able to have more than, I think it's 6 additional warriors per warband, but still got a lot of goblins. You got the king with Gollum, you got Grinner, and you got a couple of captains. You got the scribe. That's what you need. Then just loads of goblins. Spider Queen and Bat Swarm. That's quite potent. The Yellow Alliance. I actually don't know what the spiders have as their army rule. I think it might be something to do with their list building and warriors being able to lead warbands and stuff. But there might be something else. But yeah, that's quite. I mean, that's quite good. Obviously, you could get a lot more goblins for this point. You can get easily another warband, or obviously a lot of people like to ally in the goblin mercenaries. I think goblin mercenary is probably a more competitive option, but also the Spider Queen and Bat Swarm is not to be sniffed at. I do wonder if you need the Bat Swarm if you've got Gollum, but I don't know actually. Because I suppose who you're going to use the. Actually, oh, what am I saying? The Bat Swarm will be used with the Spider Queen. I was about to say, if you've got Gollum and he's helping the king out, what's the Bat Swarm going to be used for? But the Bat Swarm is to be used for the Spider Queen. So that could be quite potent. So we got this last alliance one. Is this Círdan and yeah, this was it. Yeah. So Isildur on horse with the ring again. That's good. Glorfindel. That's quite. I like that. That's cool. Oh. In fact, Glorfindel is leading. I didn't actually notice that. So that means that's quite good though, because it means so Glorfindel's very survivable. So he's got the armor of Gondolin and he's 3s everywhere, and defense 7. So that's 3s everywhere in terms of might, will, and fate. And attacks and wounds. Isildur with the ringers, then your hitter, and that's great because you stick him on a horse and kind of move him to where you want him, and then he can either just mow everyone down with his horse, or he can pop the ring on and just be a complete pain in the butt for everyone and help Glorfindel. So that's good, and you obviously got Círdan. Círdan's just good because he's got the terror bubble with a blinding light. So good list. Low on the models, so that could be a problem. Mr. Murphy bringing Halls of Thranduil and God, I've completely drawn a blank here. So I've started recording this at 11 at night because I'm an idiot. Right. Yeah. So you got Thranduil, not on elk. He's painted up the elk, but what he's done is he's bought an expensive model, painted it up with a beautiful paint job, and then he's just like, no, I'm not using it. Makes sense. No, there's a philosophy of him going on foot, because then the additional elven sword comes into play a lot more. I personally like him on the elk. I think it's a good option, because the model is nice. He gets the strength 5 on the charge and the mobility. And then he can dismount. Like, I know it's 20 points to truck away just by dismounting, but he stays on the elk until he needs to dismount, then he dismounts. So just, but I can see him not being on the elk though. That's fine. In case anyone needed my validation. Again, yeah, Palace Guard. This is a nice little death ball. A couple of cav, because you don't really. Oh, in fact, you do get it here, but it's not bringing a goat, so he's bringing the cav here instead. Thorin on goat, that's good. I assume that this guy's the leader. So that means that Thorin's a bit more of a throwaway, and Orcrist and the war goats obviously good options. And you got these guys who are probably the front rank. So I think the warriors are sort of holding everything up long enough for Thranduil and Thorin to win the game. So that could be a nice cheeky combo. This one's complete soup. So it's Denethor for the warrior spam, and I think he has to be the leader. He is the leader anyway. Huron the Tall, obviously he gets a bonus near Denethor, and also Huron's just a good option. Boromir of Gondor, pretty cheeky doing the Fellowship Alliance to get a cheaper Boromir, but you gotta love it. GBHL 90, and then Treebeard. I'd like to hear the theme for this one. So maybe Boromir. Oh, in fact, because you've got, I've just realised actually, I'm going to have to look this up. Because you've got a Boromir in the list, I assume that means that Denethor doesn't have a broken mind, because it doesn't say what Boromir, it says Boromir. So, in fact, I think that fixes Denethor insofar as he actually needs fixing. Although, because of the Yellow Alliance, he loses his +1 courage, so it is quite handy. But if Boromir dies, it just means that Denethor's going to go bananas, so that could be interesting. So, what? Boromir survives Amon Hen. He goes with Merry and Pippin to... Actually, no, I can't. That does actually sort of make sense. He goes with Merry and Pippin to Fanghorn. I don't know why. Maybe he's captured too? And then they all come and have a great time at Minas Tirith. I can just about get on board with that theme. What's this one? GAS. I didn't even look what that stands for. Oh, Grand Army of the South. I respect this a lot, actually. You don't see enough of this, I think. Obviously, you've got the Mumak with Cheeky putting the horn in with the archers and the howdah, so he's nice and safe. I quite like that. I need to check who that affects, actually, to be fair, so I will do that. I assume, because you use the driver's courage, I assume the horn affects the driver and improves the courage of the Mumak for stampede tests, so that's potentially a thing. Obviously, the Mumak War Leader gets the thing where I think if an opponent strikes up against him, you can strike for free. Doesn't come up as often as you'd think, because a lot of the time he puts something in with higher fight against it. But I can't remember if the Mumak War Leader is fight 5 or 4 base, because normally they're 4, but I can't remember if that's the point, as he's fight 5, so more stuff is striking against him. But then he gets Harbinger of Evil and Tusk weapons and nonsense. So yeah, I mean, that could be fun. I think it would be cooler if Solodan's Warband was all mounted, but I guess you lose too many sort of models at that point, so I kind of understand that. I don't know how you're going to model Haradrim Warriors without spears, because they all come with spears, but because this is what you would do, is because you don't need spears on all of them, but you take spears because that's what they're modelled as. So I'd be interested to see how these are modelled, but yeah, cool list, I like it. Sort of Thorian. Blech. Pretty classic. I don't think there's anything sort of stand out-ish here. It's kind of, if you do a sort of Thorian, that's how you do it. All the Thranduil. This one was this one a bit different? Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, the reason they didn't take the Legendary Legion is because they got Thranduil there. So I quite like that. That's So I've got that old school model of Thranduil, the one with the staff. This could be quite cool for that if you've got that model. But it doesn't matter either way, to be fair. But maybe even Yoga Thranduil would do. But yeah, it's just kind of Mirkwood Elf theme. Mirkwood Ranger theme, but bringing the big guy. So foregoing the Legendary Legion bonus in the name of theme, which I'm sure we can all appreciate. DM. Depth of Moria. I like this one. Well, I just like the list, to be honest. I remember looking at this one and thinking that's not quite how I'd run it. I think it's... Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, because I ran this with the Black Shield Shaman, and I don't know, I wasn't that fussed by the Black Shield. I think when I've run it, I just spam goblins, and I've found myself a bit happier with that rather than trying to bring in sort of bells and whistles. I think it's just I like the Balrog and just spam, but I realise that's preference. But I got absolutely slapped at a team event when I took Depths of Moria and tried to mess about with bringing Black Shield Shamans and stuff. And then when I went to Scouring the Shire in like 2022, I think, I brought Depths and I just brought nothing but goblins and captains. Like, I think I got 3 captains, a Balrog, and just loads of goblins, and did quite nicely with it. So I'm not sure I put the drum there, but he has to go somewhere, I suppose. I can't remember. I think I sort of plopped him in the Balrog's warband, but what did I? I can't remember. But yeah, I don't know. Got to work out where that drum's hiding, basically. This is Army of Gothmog, isn't it? Yeah. Again, this isn't how I personally run it because I don't mix Moranas with Orcs, but I appreciate it's to get the model so you can get this nice toy. So I was a bit perplexed by the Taskmaster because this is Army of Gothmog, yeah. Personally, I do like a cheeky Goroth. It's just different philosophies, I suppose. I like Gothmog, Goroth, and Guritz, but I appreciate Zagdush is good, but I just seem to go past him all the time. I don't really know why. I don't know if it's just theme because he's not a Morannon. I just do Morannons. But the mix is more themey anyway. To be fair, this is probably more themey than anything else, apart from maybe the Taskmaster, which is a bit random. But I can appreciate why he's there. Because this is kind of Siege of Minas Tirith, where it's just a whole bunch of orcs. They're all different. They're all doing different stuff. And you've got Gothmog who dressed like a Morannon, and then you've got Zagdush, and you've got a Catapult. That's Siege of Minas Tirith all over. You got Miles with Fell Beings of Mirkwood. So I think I think this is the same as he's run the last couple of times, which is Razgush Orcs and then Spider Queen with lots of yummy beasts and trackers. So this is kind of a light and mobile warband. This is Orcs and this is Orcs, and then a couple of drops here to sort of help him out with deployment. Obviously, he slapped my Dragon Emperor with it, so I will not criticise in any way. Nat playing 50 points down, just doesn't need him. Just, why not play 100 points down? She doesn't need all the points. Vanquishes is gross. I think they're a bit better since the FAQ, to be fair, but I think I just played them like pre-FAQ, and it's just kind of tainted my opinion of them forever. But again, same as the Necromancer dude. Like, he'll do well in certain things, but struggle in others. Kingdom of Khazad-dûm, I like this. I appreciate them not bringing a Floy, because Floy is such an obvious choice because he's very good. I quite like the Balin, the Gimli, and the King's Champion. I think those are three good and fun hero picks. And then obviously you've just got a sprinkling of... Oh, you got quite a lot of Vault Wardens, actually. I guess Vault Wardens is the theme. But you got like a mix of warriors. I really like this. I think this is really cool. I think that's... Oh, it's Patrick. Cool. All right. Nice one, Patrick. We got 2 Dragon Emperors. I can't comment because I've brought him to several tournaments now. So I think that's pretty much how I tend to do the Dragon Emperor's Warband. I was surprised by the two Dragon Knights and then these still in Captain. I tend to do Dragon Emperor, Rutabi, and then a Dragon Knight. Because I don't think you really need the March, personally. And the Dragon Knights are not on horses, I think. Yeah. I mean, you can put them in the shield wall, or you can put them on a horse. Really, I tend to put them on the horse, but I'll keep an eye on this one. Actually, it's quite interesting. Because, like I said, it's not how I run it, but I don't know. I'll be interested to see how it works out, and see if there's sort of a place for the captain and knights on foot. What was this one? Yeah, this is more like how I would run it. I'd probably swap Brohir out for a mounted Dragon Knight and then just get a couple of Cataphracts and just have that as a mobile warband. I think Brohir's not that great. He's fine and he's fun, but he's not. I think I'd take him at 800 maybe. I don't know why I'm throwing that out there. That's what I've decided. I wouldn't bother paying for that either personally, because you stick him in the shield wall and then surround him with a 5/5 somewhere. So I think you could have saved 10 points there. Then that's an extra dude, which I think would be better. I appreciate that means they can operate separately to Warband 1, but I tend to find the Host of Dragon Emperor works best when you just Deathball and push forwards. So I like Sam's list. This was cool. When it loads, there we go. So you got Durbers and Goblins, Groblog, Shaman. So Shaman's there to fix the courage, I assume. Just do a Fury and just sit there the whole game. I like the 2 Cave Drakes. I think that's very cool. So you got the Gaping Maw rule. I kind of saw this and I thought it was kind of a bit of a fun, not silly, but like, I don't know, a bit more out there pick. But actually, like, why not? You got 2 Cave Drakes. Groblog can give you a +1, and if you You know, if you get that off and then surround something with, you know, Goblin Prowler or Durbers, then, you know, that's all right. And he's, you know, he's got a strike there, a strike here, you know, anything's possible. I think it's a lot of fun. I quite like that list anyway. I wasn't paying attention. What's this one? Mordor and Dark Denizens. Yeah, this one was interesting. It's got a lot of shooting because obviously you've got the Shadow Lord who basically does the blinding light. 2 casters. That's interesting. So I assume the Ring Wraith marches and then does a bit of casting. Then you got the Black Gnome, Moran and Shield Wall, and then Gorbag. I think if you're going to have a generic Orc captain, Gorbag's the best one. And then the reason it's a Yellow Alliance is so you can get access to that Spider Queen and Bat Swarm. So the reason the Fell Beings and Mirkwood haven't been taken is so that you can have the Ring Wraiths. So that's and the Terror Wall, to be fair. So it's quite a different list despite it being a combination of Mordor and spiders, but it could work quite well. Yeah, Return the King, I think. So you've got Aragorn, and then just a bunch of dudes. Personally, I like to see a cheeky rider of the dead, but that's just me. But because you could drop Legolas and take like 3 riders of the dead, but Legolas is quite handy for just a drop, and then you just shoot the leader's horse. But I don't know. I find Legolas often isn't worth it because I find he often does a bit of shooting, does a little bit of damage, but then I don't know. It depends how you use him. Maybe I'm just bad at using him. But no, it's good times, good list. Very nice. Mr. Denny is bringing Angmar, so he's got Witch King. Yeah, perfect. No Morgul Blade though. That's the only thing. I like a cheeky Morgul Blade. I find that if you play 4 games and 3 of them you don't use the Morgul Blade, but that one time when you're like, no, I'll just chuck a more, I'll just call a strike and use the Morgul Blade and just see what happens. Again, this is all fine. Dead Marsh Spectre, yeah. Gully, I've never actually used Gully because I don't own him, and he's going to get legacied anyway. So I probably will never end up using him, but this is all good. You got a Dead Marsh Spectre in each warband, I think. Oh no, so you've got 2. Yeah, personally, I wouldn't take Gullivar, but that's because I don't own him. I always build it with Barrow Whites because I think the captain, then a Barrow White there, and then another warband with either another Barrow White or a Shade could be pretty grim as well. To be fair, that's how I tend to build it. But if you're doing Gully, this seems like good options. Just trying to think. I think the only thing it's missing is a Barrow White, but you got to take the captain for the march, surely. So this is how you would build it, I believe. Tom bringing the nonsense he vanquished me with last time, Lake Town Spam, and then Thorin on Goat. Can't say. Oh, and the Master's got to be the leader because the FAQ. This is a change since we last played. Because last time I think Thorin was the leader. I think if the Master's the leader, it's a lot more. Well, look, you draw contest champions, you just cry in a corner. Mr. Rice, what are you bringing? You are bringing your new fiefdoms list. There may be a cheeky display board available as well, assuming it gets finished, which I think it will. Fiefdoms is the one thing I have no idea about. I've played it a few times, and the Blackroot Vale Archers are good, especially against monsters. So if you come against this army on Clash by Moonlight and you don't have any shooting, this could be very nasty. There's a lot of synergizing of stuff in fiefdoms, and I've never quite got my head around it. But I know it can be good. But normally I'm just happy to voice an opinion that is normally proven wrong. But in this case, I really have no idea what's good. I know Prince Imrahil's a beast, so and Forlong's decent. So I don't know. I have to see how he gets on. Warwick bringing the other Kingdom of Khazad-dûm. So what was this? This was Durin. So he went the Durin way instead of the Barlin way. And again, I just appreciate this as a nice, fun, but decent list. Obviously lack of mobility, and Dwarf King going for the he has strike, doesn't he? So Captain has march and the King has strike, I think. Or does he? I don't know now. I know he's fight 6, but anyway, not really the point. Point is, it's a fun list. We like that. Last one is Zahir bringing Azog's Legion and Azog's Hunters. Do you know what? I haven't seen Azog's Legion in probably over a year. I'm just trying to think. I played it. I played Brohhirrim. I played Nigel's like ages ago when he had Bolg and Azog. And yeah, it was a very long time ago, is my point. So I appreciate seeing it. Azog with the armour, a couple of troll brutes. Oh my god, I'm just proving my lack of Hobbit knowledge. Just to reassure everyone, I am going to go through all these lists and read upon all the rules and FAQs, especially for stuff like the Mumak and that sort of thing. But this is another one. Is this the one where they've got the little stompy legs and they're like blind and stuff? I think it is. But that's cool. I mean, trolls are cool generally, so that's all good. Yeah, Gundabad Orc's fine. Yeah, you got to ally in the Azog's Hunters to get access to the Hunter Orcs. So bit sad that the Azog's Legion theme hasn't stuck through the whole list. But then I think a competitive event, you probably have to get the Hunters in to get the 2 attacks and stuff. So and the mobility with the Wilds. So well, you could have got a bat. You could have gone for a bat here. That might have been cool. Cool. Apparently, I think it's because it's late. I'm just throwing shade at everyone. It's just done totally unnecessarily. Yeah. So that's everyone's lists. I'll pop this video up tomorrow when I'm sort of more alert. And then make all the lists public so everyone can sort of theory hammer. I'm not going to do a draw until the day of, just because in my experience, people drop out a lot at the last second, and I just can't deal with redrawing stuff every 5 seconds. So so there's going to be no fixating about a game on Saturday for like half the week. But yeah, I'll drop a bit more about logistics in the next couple of days about sort of where to park, where to eat, and if anyone's got any questions or what have you. But other than that, I will see you guys on Saturday.